So the Constitution does not provide for many of our rights. In fact, as we discussed, it only provides for the right to file for a writ of habeas corpus, which we looked at in our discussion of the Constitution. But the Bill of Rights, which is very much the legacy of the Anti-Federalists, gives us quite a few more rights. And these rights that we are given are divided into two general categories: positive rights and negative rights. Now, when you hear these terms, it's kind of weird because we think about positive as like a good thing and negative as a bad thing. But in this case, what we mean by the positive and negative is whether it obligates action or prevents action. So from the government standpoint, are we requiring the government to do something, or are we preventing the government to do something? So positive rights require the government to do something. Negative rights prevent the government from doing something. Because this can be a little bit confusing. We sometimes talk about rights as positive rights, as rights, and negative rights as liberties or freedoms. So, but sometimes we just use the term rights to mean either, both, everything. So it gets a little confusing. And in this class, we're going to try to talk about positive rights as rights and negative rights as liberties. Now, we're going to encounter this again in Unit 2, so this will keep coming up. Now, again, positive rights, or just rights, obligate the government to act. So many of our civil rights protections could be considered positive rights because they obligate the government to act to prevent discrimination, to provide everyone with equal opportunity and due process. Now, negative rights, our liberties, prevent the government from acting. So many of our freedoms, for example, the 5 guaranteed in the First Amendment, are negative rights. They prevent the government from infringing on our freedom of religion or freedom of speech, the other 3 that are in there, which we will talk about in another mini lecture, and you can see on our slides.